Hey everybody, this is Games Plus James, and welcome back to our Unity 2D tutorial series where we're taking a look at all the basics you need to make your own awesome 2D platforming game full of awesomeness. So today's episode we're going to take a look at making a new level select. In our previous version of the game we had this version where you just walked between these three different doors, but that's not really how we want to use it in our game, and it gets broken when we use our touchscreen controls and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is set up a new way to handle this, which will be more of a map based kind of system, although we're not actually going to use a map here, but you could quite easily use a map for this in your own implementation of this in your own game. So the way I'm doing this is actually quite similar to how I've created the level select menu in my own game, Portalnauts. And if you haven't checked it out yet, of course, Portalnauts is now on Kickstarter, and if you follow the link on the screen right now, you can download a copy of the demo yourself to try it out, and you can also get awesome rewards for backing the game. You can get a copy of the finished game itself, the soundtrack, exclusive art book featuring designs and concept art, get your own levels or enemies designed in the game, or even get a pixel art of you put in the game itself. So if you found these tutorials helpful so far, make sure you follow the link on screen right now and pledge to the Kickstarter campaign and help support the game being made and help support these tutorials being made in the future too. But for now, let's take a look at making our new level select here in the game. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go File and New Scene, and we're going to we're going to rename this other level select because we're not going to use that version anymore. And we already have the end of each level going to that to a scene called level select, so we want to stick with that way of doing things. So what we'll do is we have made a new scene, and we're just going to save this scene as, we go into levels here, we're going to save this as level select. So now when you finish any other level, it'll come here rather than go into the other level select. And what we want to do, we want our main camera to be much like the other levels. We want the background color to be black like that. And we're just going to put a couple of things in here. I've updated the art file again for the game, so once again follow the link in the description down below if you haven't got the latest version. And I'll just copy this and we'll open this in Explorer and paste this one in on top of it. And now we go back in here and we've got a few little things down here in the corner. That's not the right shape at all. So what we're going to do is just draw around these, and we'll call this level select 1. And we'll just do the same with the other guys here. And this one will be level select 2. And this guy will be, surprisingly, level select 3. And then we're just going to have this little lock icon as well for locking the levels. So we'll call this, level select lock. Apply those changes, pop back in here, and what we're going to do is basically we're not going to worry about moving the camera or anything, so we're just going to line things up based on the position of the camera. So if we just zoom in so we can have a look at what, if you double click on it, it goes to so you're able to see the size of the thing basically. So this is the area we have to play with here, and we're going to put our level select icons in these places. So we got the first one, and we'll just pop that there. And I actually want to make it a little bit bigger than this. So just like that. That's probably a big enough size. So here we go. And we'll just move it over, say here, so it's kind of to the side of the screen. If we maximize it, we can see it's still got plenty of space around for us to mess around with. I'll just move it up a tiny little bit. Perfect. And basically we want to have our three little level select icons here for the 3 levels we currently have in the game. But we also want to be able to show if the level is unlocked or still locked because we haven't reached it yet. So on top of each of one of these, we're going to add the level select lock. So we're going to make this a child of, if we can move it, drag it on top of level select 1, there we go. Make it a child, and then we're going to center it just like that. We're going to make this bigger as well. Maybe not that big. We'll say 1.5 and 1.5. There we go. So you can fairly easily see it's locked, and we want to make sure that the level select lock has a higher layer than the icon itself, so that the level select lock always appears in front of it. So now we've got one, so we'll make 2 more of these. So we'll just duplicate these out. and we'll just drag them down below so they're in a sensible order, and drag that over to about there, and then the third one over to about there. And of course we need to change the icons that are being used, so we'll go to here and we'll select level 2 for that one and level 3 for that one. So as you can see, if we just turn these guys off for a second, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, that's our levels, perfect. And we'll also need something to be able to show which level the player is currently on and which level you're going to move to. So we're going to need just very straightforwardly to use a player icon again, so we'll just grab that and we'll pop him round about there. So he'll move underneath each one to show which level you're active on and which level you're going to go to when you open it. So that's fine, that's perfect. So now we need to write some code for how our level select is going to work. And basically what we want to do is, at the end of each level, we want to unlock the next level. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this scene and we're going to leave it, and we're going to go to level 1. So when we're in level 1, obviously level 1 should be unlocked at this point, so that's what we'll do from the main menu. We'll take care of that in a bit, but what we want to do on the exit is unlock level 2. So we're going to write an additional bit of script in here in our level loader, and once this is all loaded up, we go in here and we just want to add a tiny little bit in here, nothing too complicated. Basically just a way, as we've used before with the player prefs for storing the player's health and how many lives the player has, what we're going to use now is player prefs to store whether a level is unlocked or locked. So what we're going to do is add here a new public string. So as before, we've used a string to name the level that we're going to load, but this is going to be the name of the player prefs place that we're storing the value. So public string, we'll just say level tag. And then basically what we want to do is, before we load level, which will be taking place in our load level function down here. So basically right before we do application.load level, what we're going to do is say player prefs dot set int level tag, and we're going to set it to 1. So what we're using there is we're using the levels tag that we're going to enter within Unity, and we're going to give it a value of 1. So basically what we're doing is keeping track, just remembering in our head that if our player prefs value is set to either 0 or it doesn't exist, basically, because it hasn't been set yet. If it's either of those things, then the level will be locked. And if it's set to 1, which is what we're setting it to at the end of each level, then that means the next level will be unlocked. This will become a little bit more obvious as we go on here, what I mean. So if we go back into the game here, and we'll just wait for this to save. Actually, I just want to say something there. I'm not sure if at the end of the previous tutorial, if I had left this line here as just application.load level to load. So that may say application.load level in your script. And if it does, you can either just change it to load level with brackets and a semicolon so that it calls this function, or you can add the same player prefs line that we just wrote above the application if it's written here. Just something to be aware of in your own bit of code. Okay, so our level tag, basically what we're going to use is we're just going to keep the same kind of naming convention for unlocking all of our levels. So on our level tag here, we're going to say level to lock. So what that'll do is it'll set the lock on level 2 to be unlocked, basically, because we're at the end of level 1, so we're setting level 2 to be unlocked. So if we just save this and we're going to go to level 2 now, we won't see any changes or anything like that, but we're going to do the same thing on level 2 on its one, because it's currently empty. So here we're going to go level 2, no, sorry, not level 2, we're going to go level 3 lock this time because we're on level 2. And now we have a way of unlocking levels as we go through them. So now if we go back to our level select, we'll also want to set this through our main menu screen, but for the moment we're going to work out how we're going to sort out whether our levels are locked or not. And it's relatively straightforward. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new script. and we're going to create C# script here, and we'll call this our level select manager. We're also going to add this onto our player icon, because our player, what do you mean? Oh, hold on. Still wait for it to compile down here. Now we can add it there. Perfect. Because our player icon is going to be basically what controls what levels are available and what levels we're moving between. So if we go back now, oh no, we have to actually open it in monodevelop. Would be handy. So the level 2 lock and the level 3 lock we just used, this we're going to be reading from those player prefs here to determine whether a level is unlocked or not. So what we're going to do is public string, we'll say level tags again, just so we're keeping our names fairly consistent. What we're doing with these little 2 brackets here is creating an array of level tags. So it'll contain like level 1 lock, level 2 lock, level 3 lock. All those names will be used here. And we're also going to create public game object, create an array of game objects, locks. So that'll be what our locks here are. That'll be like all these red locks, that'll be them there. And basically that's how we'll be controlling whether they're unlocked or locked visually. And we're going to say public bool level unlocked. Oh, inlocked? No, unlocked. And that'll be just saying whether true or false, whether a level is unlocked. And that's what we're going to go with for now. I probably shouldn't have removed the start and update functions. We're going to put them back in here. Void start, and then void update, like that. Okay, so in our start function, what we're going to use is a for loop. I don't know if we've used a for loop yet in the series, but they're very straightforward and not too complicated to use at all. So basically, a for loop kind of works like an if statement, but rather than waiting for the whole script to play through to do another update of it, what it does is keep playing over and over again until whatever conditions you set have been reached. So what we're going to do is start our for loop like this, then you open the bracket, and we're going to set up a new value in here. We're going to say int I equals 0, and basically this is just a counter that keeps tracks of how many times the loop is going around. And what we say is we put a semicolon, because there's going to be, the way for loops work is there's 3 little statements in the top here, a setup statement, then a checking statement, and then an increment statement. So we have our setup statement, and then we're going to do a checking one, which is checks while I is less than level tags, which is the one we just set up here, and what we're going to check is the length of that. So we know we're going to have, we have 3 levels, so we know we're going to have 3 level tags. So basically, while I is less than 3, and then finally the increment statement here is I++. So basically, every time the loop runs, it'll go, okay, is I less than 3? If it is, okay, do the stuff that's inside, and then add 1 onto I. So then, and then once it reaches 3, it goes, okay, it's 3. Don't run this little bit of code anymore. So within here, we're going to go if player prefs dot get int. So now we're going to get the level tag value that we set before. So we're going to say level tags, and we're going to call from our array. We're going to use I, and obviously the first time it'll be 0, and then I1, and then I2 as it goes through the system. So we're going to go. So we're getting the value, and if it is null, so basically if a certain tag hasn't been set yet at all, then we know that the lock has to be true, or sorry, the lock has to be remaining locked, because we haven't had something telling it to be unlocked yet. So we'll say level unlocked, again using I, is equal to false. So basically what that'll be is level unlocked, and it'll use 0 or 1 or 2, and it'll say the level unlocked at 0 is false, so then leave the lock there. But But if for some reason we just copy this bit of code. Oh, no, hold on. Copy all of this bit of code again. If for some reason that tag has been created, but the value is set at 0, it hasn't been set to 1 yet, then again we will say level unlocked I is equal to false. And then finally, basically now we know that the player press value is either completely empty or is 0. And if it's not empty or 0, then we know, okay, it's been changed and it must have a new value. So therefore the new value means it must be unlocked and true. So we'll say level unlocked I is equal to true. And we'll close, we'll just go down the line here, close that. And now before our for statement is completely run, basically we want to be able to show this on the screen. So if level unlocked I is equal to true, and we'll have just set whether it's true or false. Oh no, we don't need to say is equal to true because that's basically what you're checking just there by itself. So if that whole bit is true, then what we want to do is say, okay, so then if it's true, then the icon is unlocked, and we shouldn't be able to see a lock icon anymore. So we will say locks I dot set active false. So what that'll do is we have our locks game object, and it'll say locks and the 0 lock. We'll say, okay, that one shouldn't be active, so therefore it is false. So what we'll do now is we just save this, convert it, go back into our game here, and we just wait for this to compile down here. And once it's finished compiling, we will go. Oh no, we've got an error. Error 2048. Oh, we need not 1 equals 2 equals. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now it's not throwing up a big bad error. Okay, so now we've got our 3 little variables here of different things. So our level tags, we know we're going to have 3 different levels, and we know what they're going to be called. We're going to call them level 1 lock, level 2 lock, and level 3 lock. And then we have a locks, and we're just going to set that to be the same size again, because we know we have 3 locks here, so we need to drag them in one by one. So this is from level 1, this is level 2, and this is level 3, like that. And then finally, what we want to know whether our level unlocks are true or not, and we know again we're going to have 3 there, so we'll just put in a 3 here just so we know, to be sure. And you want to make sure this is the same size as the other ones. It can be larger, but it needs to be at least the same size as the other level parts. So now if we hit play here, we haven't used any of those player prefs yet, so everything should remain with these guys showing the locks. Yep, so as you can see, the locks are still there, they're not going anywhere. But if we save this, and now we return to level 1, and we just zoom out, and just for the sake of saving some time, we'll play this, and we'll just grab the player. We'll just whip him over here, kill that guy. Now we press up. Oh, we haven't added level to the build settings. That was a bit of an error there. So we'll just grab him, pop him in there. Perfect. Try this again. It should work a bit better this time. Grab the player again, we'll just pop him over there, kill him, and now if we go up, see, now we've unlocked level 2 and the lock has disappeared, and we'll be able to access that level once we set up the rest of our code to be able to load levels. So perfect. So we just want to be able to set up on our title screen menu unlocking level 1, because obviously you need level 1 unlocked from the start if you're going to go straight to the level selector, something like that. So we go to our main menu here, and if we go to main menu, we're just going to open up this script. And we're going to, once this all loads up, here we go. So what we're going to do is very simply add another little bit of line of code in here, much like we did with level loader. We're going to take the same, actually we'll use the same bit of thing here. So we'll do public string level tag, just like that. Actually, we'll call it level 1 tag because we know it's always going to be level 1. And we could just directly write in level 1 lock here. But say you want to use something different for your own game, I'll just show you how to change it on the fly if you need to. So from our main menu, when we start a new game, or if we go to level select and you haven't started the game yet, you want to be able to have level 1 unlocked. So what we're going to do is, before we load the level, we will once again say player prefs dot set int, and we're going to set level 1 tag, and we're going to set it to 1, just like we did with our other levels. And then here we're going to do the exact same line of code when we go to level select, just in case for some reason a player starts the game and he goes straight to level select rather than just starting a new game. We want to make sure that the first level is also unlocked that way. So now we'll save that, pop back into the game here, and just demonstrate that. Rather than go to new game, we'll go straight to level select here. And once it finishes loading, okay, now we've got our level select icon here. So we'll click on this, and we didn't define a value, sorry. We'll go back to our main menu. We need to name the level 1 tag. So level 1 lock. There we go. And this time we'll run it, and we'll hit our level select, and it should, when we go to our level select, we should have the first lock gone. Perfect, there we go, the first lock is gone, so now we know the first level is unlocked, and we'll leave the third level locked for now. So now that we have a system in place for unlocking levels as we go through the game, and also, of course, importantly, showing the player which levels are unlocked, in the next episode on Monday, we're going to take a look at how to move the player on the level select screen so you can choose which level you're going to go to, and of course, only be able to go into which levels are unlocked and not be able to go into any levels that are locked. So that's what we'll be covering in the next episode, and in the meantime, make sure you follow the link on the screen right now and check out the Portalnauts Kickstarter campaign for yourself and help support the game and help make it as awesome as it can possibly be. So thanks for watching everybody, and I'll be back soon with more tutorial goodness.